Good morning, everybody, and happy Tuesday. Tuesday means travel and time to talk travel, our weekly segment on all things travel. I'm Desiree Miller, and I run a couple of websites, Stress Free Baby, 60-Second Escapes, and DesireeMiller.com, where I am hired out to freelance write for travel sites. But essentially, I love travel, like a lot of my friends, and I love picking up tips that will help you all when you travel. Today, one major tip I have for you when you travel, if you're in a new place or even in your own hometown, book a food tour. These are great for figuring out more about the place where you are. It's not just about tasting foods from different restaurants. I've done food tours here in Atlanta. That's where I'm based, and I've done food tours in cities where I've traveled, Puerto Vallarta in particular. And what I've discovered is it's a great way, if you can take a food tour the first day or two that you're in town, it's a great way to get the lay of the land, to see a little bit about of the area where you're traveling, but also typically they include a little history. When I did the Puerto Vallarta food tour, we got to walk by the house that Elizabeth Taylor lived in when she was there filming a movie, and it was a secret hideaway. They actually showed us the private walkway that she had that connected her to Richard Burton's home. At any rate, it's a great way to see the city. It's a great way to taste the food of the town. And it's just essentially a neat way to get the lay of the land. I highly recommend food tours, but I also want to just tell you, every city is known for a certain food, and I am not a foodie. So I don't go to a specific place for the food per se, but I always do want to sort of taste it because, when a city is famous for something like Philadelphia with cheesesteaks, how can you not? It's sort of like going to the coast and not seeing the beach, or going to Colorado and not sticking your feet in the snow. So at any rate, food's a great way to connect with the area, and you'll find people are passionate about their food. Today, in our Time to Talk Travel segment, we actually have a giveaway of some food. I've partnered up with a company called World Port Seafood, and they will deliver seafood right to your door. I'm a huge seafood fan, and when I get to the coast, I always get some seafood. I feel like that's to me, the way to my heart. I'm a big fan. Any kind of fish, mahi-mahi in particular, lobster, shrimp. When I think of coastal towns, it's always about the seafood. So when you watch this, and comment on your city and the favorite food that they have. Like I said, Philly's cheesesteak. You've got to get cheesesteak when you're in Philly. Buffalo wings, right? Isn't that where they were born? So tell me where it is you like to travel, what you like to have in that particular city, and I will go through and tell you my favorite places. To me, New York City, that is where you grab a slice of pizza at 2 in the morning, whatever time. There's always pizza ready to be eaten in New York City. But New York City, to me, is Prosecco. It is rooftop bars. It is getting up. For me in particular, it's not a trip to New York City unless you go to Inc. 48, which is a Kimpton hotel, and on the roof there's a bar called Press Lounge. And it's cool for me because I'm a former newsie. Not former, I'm still in the news business, but this used to be a printing company or a printing plant. And the building was converted into a hotel, and the rooftop used to be where they had the band for David Letterman, and they would open the show there. I'm trying to remember. What's the name of the musician? But at any rate, it's called the Press Lounge, and it's super cool. That is where you go get a glass of Prosecco, and you pay a lot for it. Don't get me wrong there. But to me, when I drink Prosecco anywhere in the world now, I always am transported right back to that rooftop bar in New York City. Austin's known for its tacos, if you're a taco fan. Although I said, I am big on Puerto Vallarta will always remind me of tacos now because I did the taco food tour with the Puerto Vallarta food tours, the walking food tours. And again, I'm not a foodie. So when you go on these food tours and they have 10 stops and I think, how am I going to eat 10 tacos in one night? It's not about that. They're little bitty. And I tried a taco there. Oh gosh, what was it? Smoked marlin, right? Gouda cheese, and it was, just a soft taco. Oh, it was so delicious. To this day, I haven't tasted anything like it. So there you go. So okay, Austin's tacos, and I guess Austin's pretty famous for all of its food truck scene. But I'm told you haven't had a taco unless you've had it in Austin. New York City, like I said, pizza and Prosecco for me. Chicago, deep dish pizza. I'm a pizza girl. Deep dish pizza, I'm told, you gotta have it there. And I always think of Chicago hot dogs. Maybe it's the ball game thing. Baltimore, Maryland, and I know this one to be true, crab cakes. Crab cakes, right? In fact, I remember flying out of Baltimore once, and they actually sold crab cakes in the stores in the airport, and I got them freeze dried or packaged up. They sold them in a little carry cooler. Oh, so good, so good. And I know this one, the last trip I took to Boston, clam chowder. That's how they say it, right? Chowder. Maybe it's known for other things. You guys jump in and tell me what you think. But clam chowder is Boston. Nova Scotia, to me, lobster. Lobster. I did a lobster and lighthouse food tour trip 2 years in a row based on the one visit I had to Nova Scotia where I went to Peggy's Cove, where there's a famous white lighthouse. It's beautiful to watch sunrise. Went there, and at the base of this lighthouse is a little dive restaurant. They probably wouldn't appreciate me saying dive. It's actually, it's nice inside, but it doesn't look like much on the outside. But they have great lobster there. You have to eat at the base of this lighthouse. It's amazing. The whole experience. It would be the same without the lobster dinner. Canada, poutine. Nova Scotia's up in Canada. I had poutine up there. And if you don't know what poutine is, it's sort of like fried potatoes. So think French fries with gravy and cheese curds on top. Not a big gravy girl here, but I love cheese. And I love the poutine I tried. I think I even had bacon bits put on the top of mine, but so good. So good. You can't go to Canada and not have poutine. Seattle, coffee. That's where Starbucks was founded. So everybody says you got to go. I went to the Starbucks, the very first original Starbucks when I was in Seattle last summer. I guess it was September. Oh, did you see my little chihuahua walk by? I went to the first Starbucks, and I don't even drink coffee. But, it's part of the beauty in traveling to say, you know what, I was there. I actually went to the very first one and waited in a long line and bought the mug. And my daughter had her Starbucks. She drinks some pink drink there. I don't know what it is. I usually get the hot chocolate. New Orleans is known for its seafoods or its food scene, and it's all about the spicy there. It's all about spice, spicy and po' boys. Gotta love New Orleans. Nolans. That's what they say, Nolans. Memphis barbecue. When we went to Memphis, I worked with St. Jude Hospital, Children's Hospital. Everybody knows St. Jude. They do miracle work there. St. Jude Hospital is based in Memphis, and they've got some amazing barbecue places there. And I'm going to bring you back to Atlanta. We're going to end on Atlanta. Here in Atlanta, I did a walking food tour with Atlanta. I don't want to say this wrong because it's actually the owner has become a friend. It's Atlanta Food Walks, I believe is what it's called. But there is one called the Southern Food Walks that this, I'm telling you, again, it's more like a history lesson in the very best way. I really feel like if every history teacher took their students on a walking food tour of Atlanta, the same food tour we took, we started at Pascal's Restaurant, which is famous for fried chicken, but also famous for, it's where Martin Luther King would huddle and hold his meetings to plan the civil rights marches. Is that not so cool? And they had I'm trying to remember, they had some sweet potato thing that I didn't even try because I'm a really picky eater, but they had great mac and cheese that I remember. And we made our way through. There was this place called Smoke Ring here in Atlanta that sold great barbecue, and I tried moonshine there. Never had moonshine in my life. And it weaved its way through all the way down to the Sweet Auburn Market. There are just landmarks that you learn and you see while you're on this food tour. Totally worth going, eating the food, but also learning about the city that you're in. And in Atlanta, I don't think anybody else would forgive me if I didn't mention the Varsity. If you're in Atlanta, you stop at the Varsity, which is like this burger and fry place, but it's down across from Georgia Tech. And everybody goes, because when you walk in, they greet you at the counter, what do you have? That's what they're famous for. Again, I'm not a foodie, and especially not really crazy about their burgers and hot dogs. I don't think they're all that. I get the orange shake thing there, but you can't come to Atlanta and not go to the Varsity. That's just the way it is. It didn't count as a visit unless you did. That's what they say. Meantime, again, back to the giveaway. All I want you to do is like my page, give me a little love, and comment below on whatever city's food you like best, or where you feel like people have to stop and eat. Again, if it's Austin and tacos, if it's, New York and the pizza, or if it's Boston and clam chowder, whatever you're thinking, throw a comment down there. We have a giveaway it's a seafood for dinner package from World Port Seafood, which, again, I said, delivers seafood to your door. It's $106 value, and I will drop a URL in here. If you don't win, you can get that dinner packet for $49.99. So I will put the URL in the first comment here so that you all have it. But $106 value, all you have to do is comment. We will pick one winner at random, and we will announce it before next week's Time to Talk Travel Tuesday segment. I'm back here every single week, Tuesday mornings, 10-ish. Notice I don't do 10 on the dot. 10-ish a.m., and where we all talk we talk about travel. If you have a Time to Talk Travel segment idea or topic you'd like me to hit, you can leave a comment for that as well. Otherwise, happy travels to you. You guys enjoy your week, and wherever you go, make the most of it.